My interest for motorsport started in the beginning with karting and go-kart. And now I'm racing Le Mans, where we are 30 people to just run one car. My name is Frederik Schandorff. I'm 27 years old. I'm a Danish professional racing driver. This is going to be my second Le Mans. I have been in Le Mans 2 years ago in 22, and so that was an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to do it again, and I think even now as the second time it's going to be an even better experience, because now I can focus more on the actual job I'm doing there to just be the fastest driver on track, and also to set up the car properly, because that's my job as the pro driver in the car, to make sure that the car is as fast as possible, and also the other teammates like it. So we have an atmosphere that is really awesome in our car, because we all like the same changes. So they all just trust what I do and put through whatever settings I would like, and then we just speak about it and see if they agree. But quite often they have the same feel and we drive the same way. And also I think some of that is also through the simulator, because we're trying to adapt to the same style and even make sure we do the same thing. So I brake at the same amount of pressure in each turn as they do, so we are as close as possible to each other. Because that's the thing in endurance racing, when you have multiple drivers, everyone needs to like the car and also be able to adapt how the car feels. So I got my first sim equipment 15 years ago, and I didn't really like it. I think my little brother and my dad was even quicker than me at that time, and so I didn't feel it was realistic enough, so I didn't really use it at all. So it's just really now, like the last few years, where the sim have been realistic enough that I can actually use it in my profession. So I can actually be a better driver with also using the simulator as my practice tool, and also use the simulator to practice my teammates and the other people that I'm coaching and working with. Now this is how I'm coaching my teammates as well. I'm doing a voiceover from the simulator, so you can get this view you are seeing now, where we have the brake and the throttle shape. Here in the bottom you have the steering wheel as well, so you can see everything I actually do with the correct view. I'm stopping the video just here so they can see where the braking spots is, and then I'm gonna explain what kind of peak pressure I'm doing, what kind of brake shape I'm doing for each turn, what line I will use, where is the apex. So then I'm gonna play the video while I'm talking. So I'm gonna play it in here, say, this is where we want the apex, this is where you want to be back on power. The next turn you want to position you more towards the right hand side here to prepare the next post curve. And that's how I would explain on a voiceover to my teammates, so they can prepare as well. So they don't need to practice that much themselves on all kind of lines, all kind of techniques. That I will kind of make them the technique they should try to adapt, so they are just spending all their time on just being able to copy my driving style and copy what is the fastest way around Le Mans. I started when I was 7 years old with karting, and then I raced in Denmark, and I won a multiple Danish championship in karting. And then I moved away from Denmark to race kart when I was 13 years old. That's why I started my international career there. I started to race a European championship, and then I also ended up doing the World Championships a few years. And I just remember that time was super awesome, because all the guys I raced with there is all the young kids that is doing Formula 1 right now. I think I've probably raced karting with 10 of the Formula 1 drivers there is right now. So it's just a different age, where at that time they were just exactly like me. So we all had the same dream and same goals in life. So now some of them ending up being in Formula 1, some of them I'm still racing against in what I'm doing right now. We kind of moved separate careers, where now I'm mainly focusing on Le Mans, where they are still doing Formula 1.
Stillingen inden dagens 2 heat. Førende i øjeblikket Frederik Schandorff, Jan Jønk på andenpladsen og Mathias Schmidt på tredjepladsen. Og lad os kaste os ud i det. Vi skal i gang med andet heat.
Og netop her gik starten, og det ser faktisk ud til, at Frederik Schandorff fra tredje startposition fik den bedste start. De to Aquila.
I stopped doing karting when I was 15 years old, and then I moved to cars. And that was a quite big step in how it actually started working from when I was just with my dad in the van, traveling around Europe doing karts. And actually, just from even it was just a bigger setup, we need so many more people to actually work on the car, to prepare the car, because it's just a lot more effort it takes to run a team with cars instead of karting.
Our mechanical crew was always some people we know, some buddies they had driven go-kart with, others they had been to school with, and so on.
And all these guys have been supporting me since I was in a young age. That's the reason why we're sitting here today, and the reason why I'm in Le Mans still. So because without their support at that time, I was not able to make it. So you still need that financial support when you're young to actually prove that you are good enough to actually become a professional that I am today.
Og her forrest i feltet, Frederik Schandorff over målstregen.
Helt suveræn.
Jeg får en kanonstart. Jeg skyder afsted som etter lige efter 50 meter. Og så holder jeg føringen fra start til slut og øger stille og roligt hele tiden, så med et sikkert forspring.
We didn't have the budget to finance the sport at that time, so I just had to find the sponsorship myself. I remember my family told, if you want this, you need to find the budget yourself to actually keep racing. So already from that age, when I was 16, I had to find the sponsors to make it happen. So I kind of had to grow up very quickly to make that work. So if I want to race that I wanted so much, then I need to do all this like when I'm not racing. So I actually have spent a lot more time to actually make the racing possible than actually racing. Most of these years was just all about collecting enough sponsors to actually even practice enough. That is the worst thing about actually do the real sport versus the sim, because you actually requires a lot of effort, time and money even to practice yourself. That's why the simulator is a fantastic tool that you can use that all the time, and you can just repeat it and repeat it again without actually need to spend any money to practice. As you can see, it's not super complicated. I don't have any motion platform because at the moment the technology for that is not good enough to use as a professional, because it's just moving too much and it's not moving precise enough to feel like a real car. So that's why I just have a standard rig and have the Invicta pedals and the steering wheel. And that's just how I like the simulator to be pretty simple. So you just get all the feel from the pedals and the steering wheel. When I suggested my parents that I should quit the university and focus on full-time on this, I don't think they agreed, and it was the best idea. But it was just very difficult because I couldn't do both fully, and you need to put all the energy in this to actually make it work. So I'm very happy that I actually did that at that time, and actually make it possible to do what I do now. I think if I tried to finish university at that time and do this, I will probably not have ended up doing this.
It's good to follow one's passion, but he has started with to engineer. And one day he said to me, I had got a contract, so I need to stop. But he told his mother first before he told me. And he had worked to be a professional race driver since he was 7 years old. And me and my wife has been with him a long time off the road. But now he's on his own.
I remember a period where we have just been coming from America. We have just 2 races in a row where we didn't finish the race because the car was damaged and the car broke down. And we also just kept having issues. We got hit again, and we just such in a bad circle. So it's just very, very difficult to keep the motivation and even keep working hard. But we we just did it, and we actually ending up doing. I did the pole position for the world final, and we also ending up winning both races that weekend. So it's just such an emotional weekend where we actually went down from just having the worst weekend and the multiple weekends in a row to actually ending up being one of the highlights of my career. It's the enjoyment and the passion for winning. I think I really enjoy whenever we actually succeed as a team as well. I just enjoy that feeling and the atmosphere that is around it. So whenever you're winning a race, the feelings and the emotion you get through your body, there's just something you cannot replicate somewhere else. I think because you put so much effort into it, is just make it even more emotional when you actually achieve it. So this passion about it is just where it's making me want to do it more and just want to achieve more and always get that feeling again.